Hi guys, and welcome back to Anime Movies Arena. In today's video, we'll see all of the predators of the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World franchise in order of danger. Only the carnivores that have appeared in the 6 Universal films will be on the list, so don't expect to see the Scorpios rex, the Therizinosaurus, which, although dangerous, remains a herbivore, or other predators that have only appeared in the Jurassic World Evolution video game saga. Without any further ado, let's start with position 20. Compsognathus. Today, we know that even smaller dinosaurs existed, but this toothed chicken made a name for itself within the saga by proving to be shrewd and insidious. While alone it poses no threat to a grown man, in a large group it can prove to be very dangerous. Dimorphodon, the first flying reptile on the list. Following the Indominus accident, a large number of these animals invaded the new park of Isla Nublar, causing great commotion and a lot of injuries. Pteranodon, Jurassic Park 3 version. First appearing in Jurassic Park 3, these iconic reptiles have given Alan Grant and the group of survivors a lot of trouble. With a wingspan of 6 meters, they are able to lift a human being from the ground, smash him to the ground, and then feed the hungry puppies with the remains of the victim. Pteranodon Jurassic World version. For the opening of Jurassic World, some species have been recreated with more or less marked genetic differences. This new version of the Pteranodon is perhaps slightly smaller than the counterpart seen in the 3rd film, but it's also true that it has a much more chaotic and aggressive character. In fact, when in large numbers, these animals have shown that they don't fear even an armed helicopter. Dilophosaurus. It's certainly the dinosaur that presents more aesthetic changes from its real counterpart. In reality, this animal is much larger, reaching 7 meters in length. But unlike what we see in the films, it could not blind and paralyze the victim with poison. On top of that, we have the characteristic colored neck frill. I'd say there's more than enough to consider the Dilophosaurus one of the most iconic dinosaurs of the saga. Dimetrodon. Like many other creatures on this list, the Dimetrodon was not exactly a dinosaur, but nevertheless it found its own place in the last film of the saga. It's a massive carnivore that lives in packs, ambushes prey, and then stubbornly chases them. Pyroraptor. As we'll also see later in this franchise, the Dromaeosaurus are always recreated much larger than they really were, and this feathered dinosaur is no exception. In Dominion, besides being very aggressive, it demonstrates great versatility, managing to chase prey even in water and withstanding the harsh temperatures of the Alps. Baryonyx, the first great theropod to enter this ranking. We know this species has been around since the first movie, but we see its first appearance in Fallen Kingdom. It recalls a miniature version of the Spinosaurus, to which it's related, but unlike the latter, it has an unusually large claw on the hind limbs and a crocodile-like armor along the back. Despite being predominantly piscivorous, it absolutely doesn't disdain red meat. Ceratosaurus. Let's continue the ranking with this fleeting appearance in Jurassic Park 3. The Ceratosaurus is a very ancient carnivore that was at the top of the food chain before going extinct. It presents itself as an imposing predator, with its 8-meter length, a bright red color, and a characteristic horn on the muzzle. Fortunately for the protagonist of the film, he escapes, frightened by the smell of the Spinosaurus. Carnotaurus. Recognizable by the 2 horns right above the eyes, its name means meat-eating bull, and it's a very aggressive predator that in the last 2 films has shown to fear very few rivals. We saw him collide with a large Sinoceratops in Fallen Kingdom and briefly against an Allosaurus in Dominion. Only large predators of Rex's caliber are intimidating enough to scare it away. Allosaurus. One of the dominant carnivores in the Jurassic period, this dinosaur, despite exceeding 10 meters in length, was incredibly slender and agile for its size, accustomed to attacking in groups to hunt even the gigantic sauropods. In the short battle at Big Rock, we see him cornering a Ceratosaurus and her young before being put on the run by the rival of an adult male. Quetzalcoatlus, probably the largest winged being that ever appeared on Earth. With a wingspan of 12 meters, it was practically a small sentient airplane with a diet based on fish and small dinosaurs. In the Jurassic World Dominion, it is a very aggressive animal capable of destroying even a small plane should it enter its territory, which earned him the 9th position in the chart. Indoraptor, the first hybrid to enter this list, an animal specifically engineered to be relentless with its prey, or rather target, since it was designed for military purposes, which speaks volumes about its danger. Much larger than a normal raptor, as intelligent as the Indominus Rex, and much leaner and faster than the great theropods that we'll soon see. All this makes it one of the most lethal and versatile dinosaurs ever conceived by Dr. Wu. Velociraptor. Together with the T-Rex, the Velociraptor is the undisputed animal protagonist of the saga. Now, we know the real Velociraptors were covered in feathers and slightly bigger than a turkey, but ever since the first picture, Spielberg wanted a threatening, feral, and extremely intelligent creature, able to open doors, elaborate complex hunting strategies, and endowed with an intelligence close to that of a primate. Although just one of them would not be enough to compete with many of the dinosaurs in the previous positions, its real strength lies in the group. In fact, in my humble opinion, a pack of 3 or more raptors could be a serious threat even for the biggest of super predators. Atrociraptor. These carnivores were born within the Ebris project. In the saga, we're told that they are 100% pure animals, but I suppose that they were created starting from the genome of the raptors of Allosaurus, given the great similarity. These dromaeosaurids have been trained to kill by following smell, and during the Malta sequence in Dominion, we see how ferocious and relentless they are in killing the target. The dimensions are comparable to those of velociraptors, but probably they have greater resistance. Spinosaurus. Let's enter the top 5 with one of the largest carnivores that ever walked the earth. Today we know that the real animal was a quadrupedal and lived mainly in aquatic environments, while the engine Spinosaurus is mainly bipedal, with a slightly different shaped dorsal sail. Furthermore, the cinematic version is extremely aggressive, almost a psychopath given the insistence with which it hunts the protagonist of the third film. Even though we're not specifically told so, we can speculate that the engine Spinosaurus is actually a hybrid that's put a strain on the food chain on Sorna. Its giant size and forelegs allow it to get the better of even a young T-Rex known to the community as Bull. Tyrannosaurus Rex. In 4th position, we have the dinosaur par excellence, the very icon of the brand. The T-Rex is one of the largest carnivores ever, with the most powerful bite among land animals. Its iconic nature guarantees its presence in every single film of the saga. In fact, over the course of the 6 films, we've seen several specimens of T-Rex. The aforementioned Bull, the 2 parents from the Lost World, Buck and Doe, and above all, the Great Rexy, with its 13.5 meters and 8 tons of weight, present in the first film and in all the Jurassic World trilogy. Gigantosaurus. With its 15.5 meters of length, this is perhaps the largest and heaviest land predator ever to appear in the saga. Biosyn Company selected every possible feature in order to create the perfect alpha predator. In fact, this dinosaur is equipped with bony growths that make it a living tank, able to scare off even an adult Tyrannosaurus rex. Beating such a mighty creature will require the joint effort of Rexy and a Therizinosaurus. Indominus Rex, the ultimate death machine, responsible for the end of Masrani's Jurassic World and for numerous casualties among dinosaurs and humans. During the only film in which it appears, the Indominus has proven itself as intelligent as the raptors, and even able to take over their pack. It also possesses incredible resistance, so much so that it can withstand a bazooka shot, the tail of an Ankylosaurus, and the joint attack of Rexy and Blue. As if all this wasn't enough, its hybrid nature gives it numerous abilities, including thermal imaging, mimicry, and body temperature regulation, a well-deserved silver medal. Mosasaurus. At the top of the ranking, we don't have a proper dinosaur, but a marine reptile, the immense Mosasaurus, which well reflects the philosophy of the latest films: bigger, more teeth. This sea monster would be helpless on Earth, but in the water it fears nothing and no one. With its over 20 meters in length and its huge jaws, it manages to easily deal the coup de grace to the Indominus Rex, thus seizing the podium.